I'm back. As you can tell, I had a great weekend with my dad. Got to see old friends and neighbors. Back in the day when I was young, we were all neighbors, all friends. We used to play games and get together and have potlucks and everything. But with time, everyone grew up, everyone kind of went their separate ways. And every once in a while, it's nice to kind of get back together. And this was just an opportunity to do that. So, really nice. Plus, it was nice to get a break from the city. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Montreal. I've been here for, well, I mean, almost 12 years at this point, but I did travel for almost a year. So, it was a year I wasn't really here. But anyway, all that to say, love this city, but I'm a country person deep down. I grew up in the country. It relaxes me to be in nature, and being back with my dad and all those friends and neighbors and everything was a really cool experience. And I kind of got to disconnect. Like, don't get me wrong, I love making these videos. I love sharing my story. I love seeing everyone's comments. Everyone's so positive and encouraging and motivating and everything. And I love every single part of it. But social media can be exhausting, and I consider YouTube as social media. And just kind of taking a break, disconnecting from everything, basically from my life, was a really, well, really something that I needed and that I deserved. So I'm really glad that I did it. But that being said, now I'm back and I'm like, I could just upload the video that I recorded last week that I just didn't get a chance to upload so far. But I'm like, nah, you know what? There's so many awesome people who watch my videos and comments and are always so supportive and encouraging. I'm like, they deserve a brand new video. They deserve also a little update of how the weekend went. So in the interest of that, let me give you a quick update. So as you can tell, I have a lot of energy. It was good to go back in the country and be with all those people, but there's also a few cool milestones, things that kind of happened that I'm kind of proud of. So let's get into that. Not too far away, I'd say about like 2 to 3 kilometers away from my dad's house, there's kind of like, it used to be a summer camp. You can rent cottages and stuff like that. There's paths in the forest, and there's a lake at the top of a mountain and everything. And since we grew up near there, we'd go there every once in a while, especially at neighbors. Sometimes we'd get together and a whole bunch of us would just go up to the lake and swim and everything. And it was really fun. So since we're kind of all back together, we're like, hey, it's a really nice day. Let's go up to the lake, which is great in theory. But I'm like, okay, last time we did this almost a year ago, I wasn't in great shape and we were climbing up the mountain, even though it was like a direct path, not the normal like path winding up the mountain through the forest and everything. I was like dying. I was like almost a kilometer behind everyone else. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is horrible. So I didn't know what to expect as a result of that. But I'm like, you know what? I've been doing better, especially the last month. That was kind of why I had doubts, because I'm like, the last month has been pretty intense with all the breathing issues and the coughing and the fractured rib and the pain as a result of that and everything that came with that. Plus, not to forget, not to mention the passing out on the subway and convulsing and everything, and then new medications and, all those things. I'm like, I don't know what my body can handle at this point, but this is a good challenge. Let's test it out. Let's see what happens. And of course, we didn't go up the more direct path to the lake. We decided to go up the mountain, up the winding path through the forest, which, to be fair, I prefer because I love the forest, I love nature. But given my current condition, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see. Turns out my body was surprisingly good at handling it. Sure, I was still behind everyone else. Sure, I was still out of breath, but I didn't feel like I was dying. It was pretty much the best version of what I could expect given the shape that I'm currently in. And it's not just the fact of, cancer and everything I've been going through and the issue, the like breathing issues and everything. It's just the fact that I haven't worked out or barely worked out like I did for like 2 weeks, and then everything that happened I had to stop, so it didn't really make much of a difference. So basically haven't worked out for a year at this point, if not more. Actually more than that. A couple of years, because I wasn't working out when I was traveling. So yeah, just the fact that I was able to climb a mountain and not die, given the fact that I hadn't worked out in, let's say, 2 years, or basically done any cardio. So just that is pretty impressive. Add to that the fact that I have stage 4 cancer and all that other stuff that, I keep talking about, so I don't need to go into details. You know what I'm talking about, but I'm pretty proud of myself for making it to the top of the mountain. and not being that far behind everyone and not feeling like I'm dying and really not coughing that much. And also, what I was expecting maybe is like, okay, I'll be coughing more when I get back home, or like that night it'll be hard to sleep, or tomorrow it'll like mess with my body. But it's like nothing, zero side effects, nothing. It's just like proof that my body is definitely getting better. Not to say, oh, I'm great, I'm cured, I don't need to do the radiotherapy. That's definitely going to help in my lungs. I still have some shortness of breath. I still cough more than I did in the past. So that's still in the works. That's still the part of the plan. But I'm just really proud of my body for how it was able to handle the challenge. It literally was able to handle climbing up, climbing down a mountain, and even going for a swim. Depending on where you're watching this, you may not know this, but May in Canada is still somewhat cool. Not the weather itself, but just the water in general. At that point, people don't really start swimming. It's more in June that the water starts to get warm enough, people start swimming. I mean, I can pretty much go swimming whenever in the middle of winter. I love cold water, I love challenges, so it's not a big issue for me. But given my condition, I'm like, I don't know, my body's very weak. I barely have any muscle mass at this point. Breathing is somewhat of an issue, but I'm still gonna swim because, I mean, if you know me whatsoever, I cannot be near a body of water and not jump in. I mean, okay, within reason, of course, but like if it's a swimmable body of water, I am going in. No matter what time of year it is, no matter the temperature, no matter if I don't have my bathing suit, I am going in. So, yes, the water was cold. Not as cold as I was expecting, but just the fact that I was able to swim for the first time. I don't think I've gone swimming since I learned that I have cancer. So, no, I think this was the first time. So, definitely a cool milestone. Plus, just being able to swim and being able to realize once again, it's like, all right, my body was able to handle climbing up and down a mountain, and now it's able to handle me swimming in not so warm water. So it was such a cool experience. Ignoring the fact that I got to spend time with my dad, my friends, and my neighbors, and it was just a really cool weekend. Just that challenge of knowing my body can physically handle that, given everything I've been through in the last month, I'm like really, really proud of myself. And I know it sounds like I'm just like boasting and like, look at me, I'm so fucking fantastic. That's that's not the point. Like, yes, I do have kind of that type of personality of like, hey, I'm a storyteller, I'm fucking amazing, listen to me. Like, I do that in a joking manner. So it's like, yes, it's kind of what I'm doing at the same time, but it's like I'm just sharing the experience of like how truly proud I am that my body was able to handle that. Given everything I've been through, it was a really cool challenge, really cool test, and I'm really glad that it all worked out. So, summary of everything. This was an amazing weekend. And once again, I just want to put this out there since I have a few more minutes. I just want to say how grateful I am to everyone who's been watching the videos, everyone who's been commenting, everyone who's been supporting me and encouraging me on this journey. And it's like, I feel like I've been kind of too negative in the last couple weeks. Like, I put too much emphasis on the bad things, but it's like the bad things is such a tiny, tiny, tiny percentage. And I'm like, why am I doing that? So it's like, all right, time to move on from that. This weekend was amazing, so I want to put this out there. I just want to thank every single person who watches and comments and encourages me and supports me and says so many nice things. That's why, because right now my channel is still small enough that I'm able to have the time and the bandwidth to respond to every single comment. That is why I go out of my way and make that effort to respond to every single comment, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, no matter what. I make an effort to do that because I appreciate you so much. You may not know this, but it means so much to me. Seeing all those comments, just having all that positive energy, all that support. I mean, it truly is like, you know what they say, like it takes a village. Like, I feel like I'm that child being raised by that village, and all I have to do is just share my story along the way. And to me, it feels like I don't want to say a small price to pay because it's not a price to pay. It's just who I am, and I don't know. It's just anyway. I feel like I'm babbling. Summary of everything is thank you so much for watching, for commenting. I appreciate you so much, and for as long as I can, I will respond to the comments and I will show my appreciation. So thank you, thank you,